Ukachukwu, APC governorship candidate Anambra State, is my guest tonight as we discuss the issues that matter most to residents as the election approaches. Thank you so much for staying with us on the program, Mr. Ukachukwu. So let's continue from where we stopped.
Thank you very much.
I mean, it's a very important conversation because, many of these cases stem from poverty, unemployment, and gender-based violence. I'm wondering, how does your manifesto address these root causes?
You see, apart from what I'm saying, the summary was quite on point. Why? Part of some of the insecurity issue we're having is because the youth have no job, and many even graduates who have graduated have no job. Those who could not have the liberty of going traveling abroad or going, also have done some certain investigations on certain things, we have spoken to some certain people. Maybe also it should interest you also, my audience, to hear that I'm not holding brief for any security division of the Anambra State, but I can speak authoritatively that the current governor has not given police or army or DSS or whatever up to 5-10 vehicles since 3 years and 6 months or more. How do you want them to fight crime? It's only when they set up this Quack, Udokachi, and Agone Chamber, they bought some second-hand branded vehicle. When other states are buying new vehicles and nothing actually to show for it. Don't forget, in the past few months, Anambra State is getting 1.8 billion or thereabouts from derivation as being part of our produced country, our produced state. But go to those communities that are doing it. They have not put one trip of sand, talk less of doing one thing there. They have done nothing. Completely nothing. Nothing to show for it in that local government. No single project have they done. What they did recently is to go and paint the hospital that was built by a former governor, and then brought some people and said they did the operation, and then 4 people operated on, and they have 200 patients. And this is a governor, say, lying on national TV, and then there are 200 patients that they're in the hospital, that by tomorrow it will be more, even when the whole community were sick. And then people now, in this era of investigative journalism, journalists now went there to go and see those patients that were operated the next day. Only goat and cows were, only goat and cock were everywhere. There's no single staff, there's no nurse, no doctor, nobody. The place was just empty. And they were made it public. It's not like people are seeing it there. So this is the only thing they did. And the people said, we don't want you anymore. So I've come to a point to say to them, there are things we are coming with that will bring people out of poverty to make them have economic potentials, like what I said about power and selling it back to them. Also, agri-chain. You see, the way a manner will do agriculture in Nigeria, the president have now created some certain other things, including agri-funding companies and insurance, whatever, that will help agriculture move on. Because I went to Zambia, I went to Tanzania to do studies in the why things have changed. Because some of those South African farmers move back to those countries. And I realized the agri-chain works. And when they call it a chain, it's like a chain that is in a circle. Meaning there's somebody that will take the sample of your land and go and test in a lab and say to you, you can plant corn here or plant here and here or plant maize here. That this is what can grow here. Once after testing it, they stamp it. Then insurance company will assure you that anything you cultivate here, plus or minus 10%, you are going to get it. So that's now give the immune kind of boosting for the farmer that is doing it. When the insurance stamp it, then now you see factories, the other companies, just like those farm implementers, those that will come and prepare the ridge or clear the site and then put irrigation, whatever you need to farm, they will come because they know that they are going to get back their money because there's a study that's proven. And when that is done, then somebody will now come and say, I have improved seed, I will give you. I see how the chain is going. I'll give you an improved seed. And then you can cultivate this seed and it will give you that harvest you are looking for. Because the person that tested would have given recommendation. I haven't said that. Now, a company now, the funding company will not come and say, I'll give you money now to get people to plant it and weed it up to the point of nursing to up to the point of harvest. And a harvesting company will say, I'll harvest it for you and I'll take 1 bag or 2 bags after harvesting. That's the cost I'll take. The one that prepared the ground say, I'll take 5 or 10 bags for preparing the ground for you. The one that gives you seed will say, I'll take 1 bag for preparing. It might be equivalent in money. And then when all these are together, the off-taker that will buy those your product will come and say to you, how many percentage of this product do you want to sell? He can say, I want to sell 50%. He said, okay, fine. I give you 10% to hold in lieu of what I'm going to take from you. And then when it's ready, I'll be off taker. And then when that off-taker comes, you can see that the farmer now is a beautiful bride. It's no more stagnated or just a mere farmer. He's now doing farm business. He's now into agro business. So his swag, his boldness, his confidence has improved. That anybody, both a medical doctor, non-medical doctors, graduate, or will find a business. Because when you have done this, before even you take a step to go and start that issue with the farming, to go into that farming, you realize that you have known that at the end of the planting season, I'm going to get 5 million. I'm going to get 10 million. I'm going to go. So when you consider working for somebody and they pay you 200,000 a month, you go and take that and know you're going to get 5 million. So if you do 1 hectare and get 5 million this time, next time you do 5 hectares and get to 5 million, you can see the trajectory of your growth. And it will encourage other people because they see that growth is coming and because they share. And then a value-added company will now come and say, oh, I'm doing starch. And I know that in so local government in Anambra State, I can get 200, 1,000, 3,000, 5,000 tons of cassava to produce starch.
All right.
Let me go and put my factory there. So when the off-taker brings it out, he gives me. So we'll cut off the cost of going to market, those prices increases and all those speculations. They cut off the cost of transportation and other things because they are taking it from source. What will now be going to the market now is just the finished product. So this becomes a chain. So you can now see in that place it will vast land that's prepared. And then we're going to provide forest guards, train our people, give the security agents to train them. And then I'm there to go and become government train agents.
Just for clarity, did you just summarize your agricultural revitalization policy to me? Yeah.
So this is what it says. Agro-chain means somebody will test the ground. Somebody will start and show what he has tasted and say it can work. And then somebody will give you a seed that will give you that have tested to plant. And somebody will provide now to go and prepare that land for you to come and plant. Somebody will give you loan to be able to do those planting and weed it and prepare it at time of harvest. Somebody will harvest it. Then somebody will be outside to buy it. And then value-added company will not be able to use it to produce. It becomes a value-added chain, a complete agro-chain that cannot be broken. And it will bring a lot of people into cluster of that chain because you know that if you plant 1 hectare, you are getting a certain amount of money. So you decide what to do. Our government will now be able now to run it and will provide what we need for it to work. And then other people. I've even talked to 1 or 2 companies that said they can come and become a seed company. If you Google it, it's in Zambia. There are many seed companies. Their own is to do research on seed and prepare seed to sell. That's their business. That seed company, we're going to bring them to Anambra, maybe 3 or 4. They have a variety. And then I was talking to agri-fund company, Mohammed, Abu Mohammed. I was telling him about it in a recent time, and he said they're going to take a trip to go and study it there. So what am I saying is that it becomes agro-chain, and the farmer is no more a mere farmer, local farmer. He's into agro-business. He's a cleanup. He can go to farm with a suit. He can have a 1 room in his farm. He can be able now to go to farm and then be proud that he's into agro-business. This goes also to animal husbandry. We'll give you species. If his cow also met a company,
how do you,
hold on,
that
will bring in